After 2 nights of WrestleMania 40, where Cody Rhodes finally finished his story, WWE has truly just traveled the globe. First, they were in Lyon, France for Backlash. Then a few weeks later, they were in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia to crown the WWE King and Yas, Queen of the Ring. And now, in just a few more weeks, they're going to be in Glasgow, Scotland to host the second annual Clash at the Castle. But what is actually going to happen on that show? Well, we're going to have a few memorable matches, and we're going to have some talents that are absolutely amped up. But one talent that won't be there, Becky Lynch. Because the question on everybody's mind as this show came to a close was, what the fuck was Liv doing? Why was she kissing Dominic like that? And why was Kier thinking, it should have been me? Stop thinking about it, Kier. I know you're thinking about it. Stop it. Get some goddamn help. But Becky Lynch, she won't be there. You know where she's going to be? Probably at home, because she ain't going to the land of all elite. I'm willing to bet the farm on that. I don't own a farm, so I'm going to bet the farm down the street on it, even though I don't have a stake in it. Nevertheless, I'm John Wrighton with my review of WWE Raw, the Memorial Day edition from Savannah, Georgia. Well, there were some things that happened on this show, and I want to say right here at the beginning before I dive into the review more, that unless anything memorable happens on the June 3rd and June 10th editions of Raw, I'm likely not going to review those. I kind of need a bit of a break because this episode, even though there were a few cool things that happened, one, the crowd wasn't exactly all that amped. I don't know if that's down to them not miking the crowd well. Maybe the arena doesn't have the right acoustics. To be fair, there were a few things that the crowd really didn't need to be into. And honestly, the talents were probably pretty goddamn tired after traveling to Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. So yeah, 9,500 seat capacity, 6,700 tickets sold according to WrestleTix or thereabouts. So we get Saudi Arabia recaps. You can check out my review of WWE King and Yas, Queen of the Ring. So Kaiser brings out the King of the Ring winner, Gunther, who's just carrying his crown like a little plate. It's adorable. It's like he was at a potluck and he's like, I gotta eat this shit and I really don't want to. He's not gonna wear it, and I don't blame him because it's beneath him to wear that. But he's a king. He talks success, responsibility, raising the level of the Intercontinental Championship, becoming the greatest Intercontinental Champion of all time, and how the world title needs to be saved. And then he will implement the final, not finishing that. But he wants the title to be prestigious. And then Priest comes down along with the remaining members of Judgment Day. This whole Judgment Day thing is just stale, I just gotta say. He did, Gunther basically said, you ended up winning basically on like cashing in a briefcase and everything. It wasn't with honor. And Gunther basically is like, Priest, you're tough, but I'm better. It's like, you can't teach me anything in the ring. I'm going to wipe the floor with you, all that. We're going to compete at SummerSlam. But then here's Drew. We get CM Punk chance. And then Gunther's just like, you know what? I'll be over here. And then Drew, he wants the best out of Priest. I want you at your best. And then talks about how geography is not the strong suit of Americans. Okay, rude. Not wrong, but rude. And he talks about, how Scotland is going to be on fire for him. I will say that unless they really come up with something creative, if Drew doesn't walk out as champion, oh boy, that's going to be tough because they already kind of screwed that up before. And then here's Braun, and he's going to face JD McDonough. So yeah, that was pretty much about the first 20 minutes of the goddamn program. Braun then took on JD, and I have not wanted to see Braun back in any wrestling company, and definitely not back in the ring. Okay, the graphic popped up for NXT. Who is Sexy Red, and why should I care? Should I care? Somebody told me she's a rapper. I imagine if she is, she's probably not my cup of tea. So this went through a break, and it didn't need to go through a break. Carlito tried distracting, and there was a power slam counter. 1, 2, 3. Braun gets the victory, and then Braun just basically attacks everybody. And JD hits him with a chair. You fucked up, Chance. And Liv is relishing this run. Kathy looked amazing. And Liv says, yeah, I walked out as champion, but you know what? I'm going to cement my legacy and beat Becky straight up. She's going to top Becky. Stop thinking about it, Kier. Poor Kier. Nice guy. Genuinely nice guy, but I just can't help it. Can't help myself. Because you know what you think, Kier. You know. And we know. And by we, I mean me. Actually, I think we all do. But we all respect you. So, Anybody that doesn't respect here, you're a fucking asshole. So anyway, more Judgment Day arguing. Enough. Please stop. They even call it the Judgment Day Clubhouse. No, it's like, no Carlitos. We're allowed to have one. And then recaps of Steiner wrecking the guy that's been on NXT Level Up. Ricochet is beat up, but he is cleared. And Ilya says, well, you know, once you're healed and everything. Because Ricochet's like, oh, I could take you right now. And he's like, no, when I wrestle people, I break people. I don't wrestle broken people. And Ricochet said something to the effect, Ricochet is money. I ain't never been broke. Good wording there. Good wording, Ricochet. So then Ilya and Ricochet had a match. Look, Ricochet and Ilya had a decent enough match. I did enjoy how at least Ricochet was selling his ribs and Ilya can just sell like he basically is just, you know, struggling mightily every single time. Like he's hurting himself to hurt his opponent. Commentary is in on the QR code thing. I have made my opinions known. So we get some good, back and forth. Then Steiner suddenly runs in with a spear. Then Pierce yells at him because Steiner was suspended. And we get some tension, like Steiner's like, I'm just going to run roughshod. Kathy, please, we can't focus on the show with you looking so good. Pierce is talking to Kiana. He either wants to drink with Kiana or he wants to drink, and Kiana's going to, I assume, maybe make sure he gets home safely. Calls him an Uber. We get ice cream comedy with Awesome Truth and New Day. And Cross says, watch AOP. No, I will not. And then the Creeds took on AOP. Look, I know that this is probably going to lead, and people have told me this, and I knew deep down the Creeds are probably going to end up joining Gable. And unfortunately, they've kind of ruined the Creeds for me. I'm sorry, they just have. They've been directionless since coming up from NXT. I don't think this alliance with Gable is going to work out exactly as they think. It would be like a new Team Angle. You remember the Team Angle didn't last all that long. It lasted a year? Less than a year? So anyway, the finish that AOP hits apparently is called What a Rush. Whoever came up with that deserves to be fired. I just want to say, how dare you shit on the legacy of the Road Warriors. The women got involved. Scarlett shoved Ivy into the goddamn steps. That's considered child abuse. Scarlett thinking she's a wrestler. That's adorable. So, Sheamus is dressed up as a giant newsie. He's ready to take out Ludwig. Ludwig appears on the screen, knocks him. They follow back. And somebody caught this still. Apparently, Alexa was backstage. Maybe. Maybe it was. It was a really grainy picture. Oh, joy. Oh, bliss. Ironic. You know, Alexa's back. Can't wait to not care. There are people that like her. I don't wish anything ill upon the person, but her, that whole thing that went on, you know, for years, for just seemingly forever, that spooky character. It was stupid. Again, criticisms, keeping them to the side. This is why I'm likely going to take a 2-week break from reviewing weekly WWE. At least Raw. I'm not reviewing SmackDown until they justify Nia being Queen of the Ring, meaning they can't justify it, so I'm not going to watch it. So, and also Pretty Deadly, and there's just a lot of stuff with the Bloodline I just don't care about. So, they fight back to the stage, Sheamus and Ludwig, and then security's trying to break them up. Lyra's taped up and everything. Lyra could have won the Queen of the Ring, and we would have had something ready-made, and it would have made a star. Somebody that can wrestle, unlike that, you know, stupid slug, Nia. Becky basically says, we get better, and we keep going until it's time to leave, or something to that effect. Lyra then took on Kyrie in a match that was fine. There was a stomp on the apron. There was a stomp from the top. Lyra won with a roll-up. I like Lyra. I don't mind Kyrie. I mean, I like Kyrie, but she kind of feels meaningless. Priest then wonders where JD's head's at. Well, it's on the screen. I mean, his head basically has his own zip code. He was talking to Liv because Liv's trying to insert herself into Judgment Day. Stop it, Kier. Stop. You stop. Dominic says, I'll fix it. Io then wrecks her dressing room. Okay. I've seen women that mad before. I've made women that mad before. Ray then took on Carlito. Remember when Dragon Lee was touted as a big signing and it seemed like they were going to do something with him? That's out the window. He don't mean shit now. Ray won with a 619 after Finn tried to target Lee and that didn't work. He won with a 619 and a splash. And then Priest attacks, and Priest is old and tired, and well, this whole thing with Priest is old and tired. I'm not saying he is specifically. And then Braun is still looking for JD. He's been looking for him and dragging his leg like he's Kerry Von Erich after the motorcycle accident. Gable then yells at the Academy. Here comes Bronson beats Otis. And then we get the Alpha Academy, you know, like being dressed down. Not that Maxine really could have been dressed down anymore, good lord. If she had turned to the side, the shorts might have disappeared. Here's the thing. Oh no, they're teasing a whipping of Otis. I know that Otis and Gable are actually friends in real life, and I'm sure that they enjoy doing this. And maybe if this is good television, I would care. Here's Sammy. Says Gable's at fault. And they're cheering Otis. I'm glad the Falcons blew a 28-3 lead now. You know what? All Georgia sports don't deserve any championships. How dare you, Savannah? Look, he's over with the crowd. Great. You know, malaria was over in the 50s in some areas, and that doesn't necessarily mean anything good. So, yeah, we get this teasing. Yes, they're going to, blow when Otis beats Gable. Great. I won't because I don't care about this, but at least most people like it. Package on Liv. She's in a car seat in the passenger seat saying, watch her. I could say stuff, and I'm just not going to because I just don't care. I mean, I like Liv, don't get me wrong, but by this point I was kind of checked out of the show. Steel cage lowers. That was a 7:32 my time because I'm on the West Coast. And then Kathy is with Shayna and Zoe. Sonya basically says no one respects you. And Isla, Jesus Christ, Isla. And that should just be her new name because, good God, she looks amazing. And Alba, who also looks amazing. They mock them. And Sonya says, see, I told you. Zoe's thrilled to be actually back in Georgia because she actually helped Ann Gunkel try to win the Atlanta Wrestling War against Jim Barnett. She remembers Mr. Wrestling 1's debut match. She actually remembers when the Sheik was just Ed Farhead. He wasn't actually the Sheik yet, and he wasn't even the original Sheik. She helped Jim Barnett break into wrestling. I'm done. Becky and Liv had a nice steel cage match where they had the introductions, and then we went to break. Come back. The match is going. And Liv, took some hard bumps, took a big suplex or superplex. Becky took some hits into the cage. And you could tell in the entrance, Becky's like, you know what? I'm done. Suddenly a disarmer on the ropes. Dominic runs down, opens the door. He's trying to help Becky. He's trying to fix this. And then JD and Balor like, what the fuck are you doing? And then here's Braun, and he runs down and inadvertently knocks Dominic into the door, knocks the door into Becky's head, and Liv escapes and gets the victory. And then Liv, and the feed cut off here, but WWE put it up, I guess, because they realized they were running low on time. But Liv just, fucking lip locks the fuck out of it. I have not seen lip action like that since blue is the warmest color, but that was insane. And that doesn't necessarily work because they're both different genders. Nevertheless, Liv did that, and she's inserting herself and breaking apart Judgment Day, which really wasn't that hard to do. Okay, so in closing, here, I'm not going to refer to those notes again. In closing, what is Becky going to do? Becky is either going to take time off to spend time with her kid, spend time with Seth, because Seth's knee is fucked. Maybe she wants to help him rehab, or just take time off. She's 37 now. She has had injuries, but she's fought through a whole lot of stuff. She's done basically everything. She's won the Royal Rumble. She's had moments of SummerSlam. She main evented WrestleMania. She's had big moments. If she wants to take time off and come back at SummerSlam, or come back a little bit later after signing a new deal, because her new deal, or her current deal is up on June 1st, fine. I wish Becky nothing but the best. She ain't going to AEW, folks. There ain't no goddamn chance. Because take a look at what, they got a lot more, a lot more issues that they need to fix before they can think about signing anyone else. And also, she ain't going to leave what's she going to be? Rebecca Quinn? That name isn't going to pop the same. I'm sorry, it's just not. I understand why Mercedes went, and I get it. It's nice to have options, but there's no way she's going. And there's no way that she won't be back in WWE at some point. But if she... if she's not, if this is it, I apologize, allergies are a bitch. If she's done, if this is truly it, thank you, Becky. There's nothing else she needs to do. But I think she'll be back by SummerSlam. Maybe she'll be back by the Royal Rumble. I don't know. The women's division is in good hands, at least on Raw, not so much on SmackDown, because they have a useless beanbag, shaped slug there. But at least Becky, did some good stuff. Liv ended up, retaining the championship. And maybe Becky can finally get that vacation that she so richly wanted, apparently, after WrestleMania. So there you go. That's what I think is going to happen. She's either going to retire or she's going to come back by SummerSlam or maybe even by the Rumble after taking some time off. What else does she need to do? Nothing. She has nothing left to prove. Agree, disagree, what I said? Like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Rethlin. And again, unless something big happens on Raw in the next couple of weeks, I'll see you on the 17th. Probably. Maybe. See you soon.